question, the member from Thornhill.
Thank you very much, Speaker. To the Minister of Finance. Minister, in Adam Radwanski's Globe and Mail column today, you admit that your government has a spending problem. You admit that you've allowed, in fact, you led an uncontrollable, wasteful government spending spree. I think we should give him a round of applause. It took you 8.5 years to admit to your failures, but only 3 years to run the province into the ground. Will you now admit that your latest budget is just as much a failure? Come on, Minister. Let's continue this spontaneous streak of revelations and come clean. Will you address jobs and spending and fix your budget now?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, members on this side of the House are working hard to achieve a balanced budget by 2017-18. We've had some very responsible recommendations brought forward by the third party. We are working behind the scenes to achieve year in and year out the targets we have set out. And Mr. Speaker, my local newspaper in Windsor, which isn't necessarily known to be a Liberal newspaper, had this to say about that party. Since the Conservatives rejected the budget before even seeing it, an outrageously irresponsible act, even by Tim Hudak's standards. I agree with the Windsor Star on this one, Mr. Speaker. It's a shame they're not participating. It's a shame they haven't read the document. It's a shame that they're not part of building a better future for Ontario, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Minister, your government hired an economist who spent about a year reviewing government departments and how they manage taxpayer money. Now you say you'll be unleashing accountants and auditors, yet more consultants to look at government spending, and you have the gall to then wonder how it happens that after 5 years as chair of the Treasury Board, you just never got the feeling that you were systematically looking at things. That's a quote. Newsflash, Minister, you never got that feeling because you never actually looked at things. And regardless of your apparent epiphany in the Globe and Mail piece today, you're still not looking at things. What is it with that Liberal Party over there? What is it about the Liberal Party and consultants? Is it that you don't have anyone competent enough working for you, or is hiring consultants your party's version of a job strategy?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, we've made significant gains in our schools, and we have more to do, Mr. Speaker. Outcomes are better in schools, Mr. Speaker. There are more kids graduating, more kids going on to post-secondary. We've gone from the worst waiting lists in health care to the best, Mr. Speaker. That's achievement. We are moving back to balance in the context of the worst downturn in history. And what are the Tories doing? I see again last night they nominated yet another candidate. Rather than sit down, Pam,
Bruce Gray, Owen Sound, come to order.
Pam Hundal.
We're getting to that point where we're actually just putting a paper in front of your mouth does not stop you from hitting each other. My disappointment is not the fact that I have to stand from time to time. My disappointment is when people continue when I stand. And the second point that I want to make is it's very difficult to bring any one member to order when both sides are heckling while both are giving an answer or both are giving a question. Minister of Finance.
So they're out nominating candidates, and that's fine. And as to the question of consultants, in their last year in office, the party opposite spent $662 million, Mr. Speaker. And even more recently, Andrew Boddington, Christine Elliott's leadership campaign manager, took health care dollars to lobby with clients. Tom Long received millions of dollars in contracts with